In the next 10 minutes, I'll explain to you exactly why you're wasting your life potential on the retainer agency model, charging local business owners 1 to 5 grand retainers, and how this model in essence is designed to cap you out, right? Because specifically in retainer model, you typically sell to local business owners that know a fuck all about sales or marketing. Let's face it, right? They can't even open up a fucking ads manager, let alone build up follow-up systems and go high level or build any funnels. You're solving every single fucking problem that they have on their schedule, and you're also fucking getting your Slack blown up the whole time, right? And they're treating you like a slave to their organization, and you need to tend to every single one of their goals, because if you don't, losing 2K in reoccurring revenue might mean a lot for your own business right now. And what's really crazy is that nobody has ever really told you that you can actually sell to enterprise clients, right? Corporate clients that spend $5 to $10 million on marketing monthly, instead of local business owners that spend fucking 10 to maybe like 15 grand on marketing, right? And they make maybe 10 grand profit and need to send you 20 to 30% of their profit to you, which is a shit ton of money for them, because like a corporate business that spends $5 million on marketing will not care if they send you $100,000 to test out if the leads you send them are good leads that they can convert into customers. What that essentially means, right? Because obviously corporate businesses, they already have a Wolf of Wall Street call center that's getting dialed every fucking minute, right? That's why they scale to $10 million plus in the first place. Now, specifically, all they need is to have good leads from you that you generate yourself, that you already know how to generate, of meta ads, right? And you basically funnel them through a landing page, and you basically, that landing page is supposed to filter out the good qualified leads that the customers want, and that you basically send into their customer relationship management tool or whatever system they have. Now the corporate business is gonna take that first name, last name, and phone number, call them, and turn that lead into a customer opportunity. And they make a positive return on investment with you. That's a client you don't even keep for 1 year, right? If you're lucky, you will keep like a local retainer agency owner for 1 year before they get fucking scammed out of 700 fucking grand in crypto and cannot even pay you, which is a anecdote of mine. But specifically, corporate clients will always pay no matter what, because they have a reputation to uphold and they have legal systems that keep them in place, or they're gonna get sued. And they will always pay you and scale as much as they can with you if you make a positive return on investment by sending them good qualified leads, right? So you're essentially not doing all of this, like fixing their sales infrastructure, building out, like getting setters on board, like people that close these leads, right? You don't need to do any of that shit with corporate businesses. Now, specifically, there are a few ways to generate these leads: with email, a comparison site, YouTube, organic, Facebook, Instagram, Google, SMS, cold call. So I've ranked all of them, as well as on a tier list from S being the best to F being the worst, right? And I'll explain to you shortly what each of those mean. Because specifically, each, right, you have one funnel basically, right? Just one funnel, like that you can build on Go High Level, that you can build in 3 minutes with AI, and you generate the leads with different sources. Now bear with me here, right? Because it's not like that complicated. This chart looks complicated, but I make sure a fucking 5-year-old can understand what I'm saying. Because email, right, you just like have 100,000 contacts, you blast out emails, and there's specific complicated infrastructures to do that. You get leads for maybe $10 and you sell them to corporate businesses for $30, right? And comparison sites, what those are is, for instance, LendingTree, Money Supermarket, all pay-per-lead companies that have built their brands up over the last 20 years and now are listed on the stock exchange. And what's really crazy is that they've built so much trust with the consumer that people who need like a business loan just go on to LendingTree, because they assume LendingTree knows what they're fucking doing, right? The LendingTree is providing them with the best business loan companies, because they're the biggest, right? They're the biggest comparison site. So I can just go on LendingTree and compare the best business loan company. No, right? The only thing that actually makes makes them on like that. Basically what's happening on the back end is that these business loan companies are paying LendingTree for every lead or click onto their website, right? So basically it is a marketing company that's scamming people ethically, so to say, because they trick people into thinking that it's like a comparison site and there's like no intention involved, right? We're just comparing the best business loan companies, but on the back end they're getting paid, right, for every lead that they provide and every click, right? So if somebody clicks on, for instance, the biggest business loan company in the world, right, and they come from LendingTree because they've viewed, okay, this is the top 10 companies, I'm clicking on the first one, okay, then that click gets paid out to LendingTree because he provided that customer, so to say, or that lead. Now specifically, it's one of the like long-term goals that you should have in pay-per-lead. It's like building out infrastructure, and you can pay like an Indian SEO guy $400 to do it on a monthly basis, which is what I'm doing currently now, right? That's like you're moving a chess piece forward and it's building infrastructure. Now YouTube is also really crazy because not many people even know about YouTube ads. Mainly e-com guys are running like Facebook ads, right? The high-level people know about YouTube ads, something that I am learning currently as well. And it provides the best leads because people on YouTube actually are here to solve a problem. They are looking for specific information, and people on Facebook are just brain rotting, right? So the level of consumer is higher on YouTube in most cases. Now organic basically means there are influencers, and a lot of these influencers are getting a lot of views and reach, and they're basically getting paid by providing leads to businesses, and that's as simple as that. And those are actually people that already have trust for the influencer, which is why they can monetize that trust and basically direct them to a business. And on the back end, these people basically get paid out per lead or per acquired customer, right? So for instance, if I have like a skincare brand, and then I just like basically provide you with a sale, then I get paid for that sale. And it's kind of affiliate marketing, right? So pay-per-lead is essentially that, but in some of the different industries. Now Facebook and Instagram, you all know meta ads. Basically many people are afraid. I was also afraid when I learned it last year in March, because specifically, you know, I thought it was intimidating and looks like a fucking airplane dashboard when you go into there. But then you realize that actually a 5th grader can figure it out if they actually tried. So it's actually not that difficult. It's just 10 minutes of button clicking. The more difficult part is understanding like what kind of ads to make, the content creation, how to create ads. So that's the more difficult part. But if you watch my channel, you basically are impossible to lose at that aspect. Now with Google, it's harder to learn. I don't know how to do it, so I'm also trying to take that up within the next year. It's a bit harder than meta ads, but you have the highest intent leads, because these leads actually come, well, not the highest, right? Because the highest are from the S tier. Obviously, they have the most trust in the S tier. In Google B tier, it's like they see it's a sponsor post, okay, it's a really good offer, right, and they still click on it. However, they're on the back of their mind, it's like, okay, they know it's an ad, so they don't have as much trust as with like email, comparison site, YouTube, or organic. Email is good because you can do it at very low cost at scale. The trust isn't that high, but it's super cheap. Now also you can run SMS campaigns, but they're not as, the leads are not as good as like email, because sometimes you get like brain rot leads. They're like basically scam leads, right? They're not bad leads, and you would have to replace them for the customer. SMS, cold calling also works, right? If you have a Filipino call center, if that's what you're doing, cold calling leads all of the day, and then basically making sure the leads are good and are actually interested in this service, and providing that information to your corporate client who's going to close them. People also do that. I know a guy with email and SMS, combination of both, and he does $800,000 profit in the specific auto insurance vertical, one of the most competitive markets in the United States. Now specifically with ChatGPT ads, that's gonna go live, where you have like ads on ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude, Perplexity. It's not yet there, so I ranked it as F, but it's probably gonna become an S. Now Coreg, what is that? It's basically you get incentivized, right? So you go have like an email, and like a lot of stupid broke people opt in because they see specifically that, okay, this is like, I might win something for free, right? I might win like a Walmart gift card or like an Apple gift card if I click some buttons. So it's like incentivized marketing where they don't really care about what the marketing is. They just want the free things and they just enter some questions in. The data is really bad because obviously they're just trying to go through it and click some buttons. But obviously, you know, like, if you have doing it at volume, you can get leads for pretty cheap as well. If you have a call center and if the call center just makes sure that leads are like not garbage and are actually interested in the services, and then you sell that lead to the corporate company, and maybe out of 10 leads that you provide, the corporate company is going to close one, right? In the best case scenario. Now, scrape purchase leads, you can also purchase them online, Apollo, but those have already been run through, so to say, so there's not much to go on there. How it looks like is like on the funnel, right? You need to get this one thing that's called trusted form, and what that does, guys, it's super important in the United States. It records the whole screen of the consumer or of the lead, how they basically click the buttons and clicked on that button. That basically lets them provide the phone number and said, I provide my consent to send you my phone number and you can contact me. That is necessary in the United States. It's pretty simple to set up if you have an Indian tech guy. If not, Grok can help you out. It's the best AI for technical stuff. And that records like a screen, basically a screen. It's like basically it records the whole consumer journey and their whole screen, so to say, on which buttons they clicked, etc., etc. And then what happens is that the leads are getting qualified. So depending on what the customer wants, you can design your questions in a way to filter out the leads that are not qualified or bad leads, and then just to send the customer the leads that he wants, the qualified ones. Now, and then there's some technical stuff like the ping post router, and that what that is essentially, it's actually like, it might sound fancy, but it's actually really easy, right? Essentially what that means is that some buyers, right, might want to pay like more for a lead, right? It's like bidding on a painting, like bidding like 10 million, 20 million, 25 million, 5 million, and obviously the guy who bids the most on the painting is gonna get that painting, right? Here it's the same shit. So the buyer who with the highest like bid is gonna get the lead, right? And that's just an automatic system to figure out which one of the buyers which one of the corporate clients is willing to pay the most for the bid, right? You're already learning some high level shit that you will never find anywhere else. And if you're really considering pay-per-lead and switching from retainer or any other agency model into pay-per-lead, I'm actually willing to scale you up. I'm only taking like not a lot of spot right now because I legit don't have capacity and it's fucking 6 a.m. I need to go to fucking bed, but I will scale you up on a profit share basis. So contact me on Telegram as well as on fucking Skool, Instagram, whatever you feel like, but just don't email me. Now specifically, what's really cool is that you can also have different filters and just reject leads straight out that are bad, right? Because they're maybe in a different location that you wanted, etc., etc., or their phone number was invalid. So you can have a lot of things, you can do a lot of things to make sure your leads are good. And that's the only business, which is why it's so scalable, which is why 9 out of 10 companies on the stock exchange are actually pay-per-lead companies, which is why you are fucking retarded to actually not look into it if you're a high-level marketer and if you want to build a business that's actually sustainable, that you can exit for 8 to 9 figures and you're actually proud of, right? Because we are not here to play around. We are here to build empires. And if you want to learn more, go follow me, right? Because it'll be fucking retarded to lose an autistic Chinese person that eats dogs, right? Because we're definitely very one of a kind and providing you with a lot of value. And feel free to join my Telegram community because I have the biggest Telegram community on pay-per-lead in the whole world. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out. If you have any questions, DM me.